dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Assalamu alaikum. This is teacher Abdullahi. Hi, Form 4 students. We will be continuing our lesson, History Form 4. We are in chapter 9, Conflict in the Middle East. So, this is lesson 4. Today our topic is the war between Iran and Iraq, 1980 to 1988, and the Gulf War, 1990 to 1991. So the main objectives of our lesson today is to comprehend the causes of these two wars, the course of these two wars, and the consequences they have. So let us start with the first one, the Iran-Iraq war. So Iran and Iraq war was going on from 1980 to 1988. How many years? From 1980 to 1988. That's 8 years. So now Saddam Hussein was the president, of Iraq, and then president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein attacked Iran in 1980. Why did he attack? We shall see. But Iran was ruled before Saddam Hussein attacked Iran was ruled by a kingdom. And then that kingdom was gone, and then a new system came into Iran. It became an Islamic Republic under the leadership of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So now Saddam Hussein, why did he attack Iran suddenly? These are the motives, these are the main reasons why Saddam Hussein attacked Iran in 1980. So the first one was Saddam Hussein, he did not want, the Shiite Islamic militant groups to spread into Iraq. He feared the same thing may happen to Iraq because Iran became an Islamic Republic. And Saddam Hussein, he feared that this, new system of Islamic militant group might come into his, country. So in order to prevent that, he attacked Iran. Because Iran became an Islamic Shiite Republic under Ayatollah Khamenei. Ayatollah Khamenei is still there. He is the supreme leader of Iran. What about the second point? Why did he attack? There is an economic reason why and political reason why he attacked, and historical even reason. So Saddam Hussein, what did he also claim? He claimed that the border of Khuzestan, had historically belonged to them. So this is a region that is rich in oil. So Saddam Hussein also, he wanted to get this land, and there was always a war, or what we can say, a battle that was not going on for long, but sometimes there were clashes. That's the term we can use, clashes over this area. So Saddam claimed that the border province of Khuzestan historically belonged to them. For that reason, he was saying, I wanted to get that land from Iran completely. What about the other reason why he attacked? There was also a long-standing conflict between Iran and Iraq of a Shatt al-Arab waterway. So there is also another place, it's called Shatt al-Arab waterway. This area also, there was a conflict between the two over the ownership. For that reason, both countries, they used this area, and both of them, they claimed it is theirs. So the Saddam Hussein, he was claiming this is for their country, for his country. So the first reason and objective why Saddam Hussein attacked in 1980 Iran was to prevent the Islamic militant to spread into his country. He also claimed that the border province of Khuzestan is for them. And at the same time, the Shatt al-Arab waterway, he wanted to also get them. Okay, so this is a map explaining the Iran-Iraq war 1980 to 1988. As you can see, the two countries they share a border. What about the course of the war? How did the war happen? The course of the war. So after the war started, the stability of all the Arab nations, were threatened. The Arabs, they started to feel that this war was going to spread them, because now some countries, they started to support Iran. Others in Arab countries, they started also to support Iraq. So Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Kuwait, which one did they support? They supported Iraq. Syria, Libya, Algeria, and the Palestinian Liberation Organization were critical against against, you know, the one who started Iraq, the war, Iraq. So they were critical against Iraq for starting the war. In another words, they did not like how Saddam Hussein, you know, started the war. So they were, you know, supporting Iran. The attack on Iran's oil export threatened the energy supply to the West. You know, while the war was going on, Iran, they were targeting the oil supply. Iraq was targeting the Iranian oil supply, and Iran was providing a lot of oil, petroleum to the Western countries, USA and Western Europe. So the supply also were threatened, which the Western countries, they did not like. But you have to understand that in this war, Iran and Iraq war, the Western countries, they were supporting, you know, Iraq. Most of them, you know, they supported Iraq because they did not want an Islamic republic to flourish in that area. So they were providing weapons, you know, assistance in terms of trainers, those who could train the army for him, and also they were providing financial help to Iraq. Okay. The war entered into a new phase at the end of 1987 when both sides began to bombard each other's capital city, causing thousands of deaths. You know, while the war was going on for almost 7 years, you know, that the two countries, they started to go into another phase, and that was to bombard each other's, you know, capital city. So Tehran was bombarded by Iraq, you know, Baghdad was bombarded by Iran, and many people died. Tens of thousands of people died from the war. Even the economy of the two countries also shrinked to a level that they were not able to recover for many years. Okay. At last, a ceasefire was reached at August 1988. Finally, the war was stopped at August 1988. Both claimed a total victory. There was no true winner in this war. Both of them, they were saying we won for propaganda reasons to satisfy their population, but we can say in true there was no winner in this battle. Both of them finally, you know, they stopped the war, and the war was finished August 1988. But there were a lot of casualties, a lot of death, and a lot of suffering because the war was very long. 8 years. Okay, so now let us go to the second one. The second one is called the Gulf War. You have to understand that, you know, now this war, Saddam Hussein again will start to attack another small country, and that country is Kuwait. So now Saddam Hussein, after Iran-Iraq war, what happened? Saddam invaded and quickly conquered the small neighboring state of Kuwait in August 1990. So now Saddam Hussein was involved in a war that was very long, for 8 years. His country doesn't have now resources. They are less developed. Now he wants a country that he can get a lot in terms of oil, so that he can recover his economy very quickly. And he also thinks that other countries, like Western countries, since they were supporting him in the previous war with Iran, they will do nothing to him if he conquers either Kuwait or Qatar. So now what did he do? He conquered Kuwait. And he conquers all of Kuwait with less than 24 hours. In 1990. So what were the objective of Saddam now after he conquered Kuwait in 1990? He says to get the wealth of Kuwait after long war with Iran. So now he went to get the wealth of Kuwait completely. He was broken in Iran. Now he wanted to get things better in terms of economy and life. The other one is he claimed that even Kuwait was historically part of Iraq. So Saddam Hussein always, he would say when he attacks another area, this historically belonged to us. Historically it belonged to us. So now he's saying Kuwait was historically part of Iraq. Okay, the other reason was he also did not expect any action from the outside world. He believed that since they were supporting him in the long war for going on for 8 years, now there is nothing they can do to him. But that was not right. You know, he made a very bad decision. He made a very, very wrong decision, and all the world will become against him. So he did not expect an action from the outside world, since USA and Europe had supported him with armies during his war with Iran. So this map is about the Gulf War Phase 1, 17 January to 23rd February 1991. So as you can see, the red is the Allied, the green is the Iraqi unities, and then the Allied movement is The Allied are those countries that wanted to liberate Kuwait from the occupation of Saddam Hussein. So Iraqi air base, that's Iraqi air base being destroyed, as you can see from the map. Bridges being destroyed. So inshallah you will look into it for more. Okay. The whale united against Saddam Hussein now. He made a miscalculation. He thought that the whale will not attack him. So when it's against Saddam has miscalculated, President Bush of USA, the big Bush, not the young one, took the lead in pressing for action to remove Iraqis from Kuwait. The UN placed trade sanctions on Iraq, cutting her oil exports. So now the first thing that they did is, the president of USA at that time was the senior Bush. So the senior Bush, George W. Bush, the senior one, he, made a declaration that they are ready to liberate, Kuwait from Iraq. And then he proposed it for the UN. They collected an army together, and the base was Saudi Arabia. So now that action was taken. First, oil exports were cut down. Saddam was ordered to remove his troops by 15 January 1991, but he thought it was just a bluff. Even still, he cannot believe that the whale is against him. So he was given a time to get his army from Kuwait, but he just thought it was just a bluffing, that they are not serious. So now more than 30 countries contributed to an army of 600,000 men. Imagine, more than 600,000 men were ready now to get rid of Saddam Hussein and take him to where he belonged to Iraq. So that campaign was called Desert Storm. It was called a Desert Storm. That's the name they gave, Desert Storm. It comprised of two folds. The Desert Storm has two folds. What's the first one? Serious bombardment attacks on Baghdad. First, they bombarded Baghdad. Roads and bridges were targeted. Saddam, he couldn't believe that even Baghdad was targeted by the international army. So that was the first phase. And the second one was attacks on Iraqi army. Attacks on Iraqi army. Began on 23rd February, and within 4 days, Kuwait was liberated from Saddam. So Saddam, when he saw the army and the bombardment going on into his homeland, he finally accepted the truce, and he was out of Kuwait within less than 4 days. Within less than 4 days. Okay? So this is your assignment. You will be doing it. This part is a research. You should make a research. So you have to read. You will understand it. That's for all today. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. There's an assignment in our website in the school. There's a geography already, and there will be a history for the coming 2 days. So you have to do it, inshallah. Stay at home, stay safe. Have a Ramadan Mubarak.